Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Gabrielle, and I am here to discuss the curious case of Carlee Smollet Russell. Yes, you heard me, Carlee Smollet Russell. She reminds me, excuse me, so much of Jussie Smollett, who made similar efforts and attempts to deceive the public by staging his disappearance or attack. Not necessarily a disappearance, but he staged an attack. And Chicago PD was definitely working in overdrive to solve that case and to bring awareness to it. And when it was all said and done, Jussie Smollett received time in prison, not prison, but in jail, in the Chicago jail cell. He received time, and he had to pay some restitution and fines and things of that nature. So it's looking like that's what is possibly on the horizon for Miss Carlee Russell. Now, today at about 3:30 Eastern Time, the Hoover Police Department did schedule a nationwide broadcast to bring the public up to speed on Carlee Russell's alleged abduction and facts that were surrounding her methodical disappearance, okay? I'm going to go ahead and read this article to bring you guys up to speed if you have not had a chance to listen to or watch the press conference. But this article comes from Hoover, Alabama, WVTM, Channel 13. And right out the gate, it says that no reason to believe that there is a threat to public safety, according to police. So after reading this article on my own, I just surmised that they were ultimately forced by Carlee and her family to just reveal the details surrounding this case. It does make mention later on in the article, and we are going to get to it, where they mentioned that they tried to speak to her a second time. However, she made nor her family made attempts to want to speak to police regarding the case. So it says that Carlee Russell searched for information about Amber Alerts, bus stations, and taking money before she went missing. Now, the United States Secret Service found that these searches were on her phone, which was left in her car after she went missing on Thursday night, after reporting that a toddler walking along I-459, okay? Now, some of the search items, or search terms rather, included: you have to pay for Amber Alert or search, how to take money from a register without being caught, Birmingham bus station, one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville, the movie Taken, information about Amber Alerts on her work computer, and other searches that police say reveal her mindset that won't be released. Okay, so they did mention in the press conference that they wanted to protect her privacy and that they will not reveal some of the searches that they came across while searching through her computer. Now, surveillance footage from her work at the spa showed that she concealed a bathrobe and toilet paper when she was seen on camera leaving, and neither of those items were in the car after she went missing. Now, when she called 911, data tracked her driving 600 yards while she said she was allegedly following the toddler along the interstate. However, according to Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis, no child had been reported missing at this time. Okay, so you have to imagine, right? If she's the only person that is reporting this toddler along that vast stretch of road, where it is frequented by lots of cars, okay, and vehicles, semi-trucks, she's the only person that saw it, definitely struck them as an immediate red flag. Traffic camera footage was sent to the Federal Bureau of Investigation for enhancement. That has not yet been returned, which is why the Hoover Police Department did state that this is an ongoing case. They are still following some leads and things like that. So I'm pretty sure they'll be back in touch with us once that information is revealed. Now, during Carlee's initial statement to police, she said that when she got out of her car, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. He then picked her up, took her over a fence, and the next thing she remembered was that she was in a tractor trailer, okay? Now, in the truck, there was also a man and a woman, according to Carlee's statement. She also heard a baby. She was able to escape from the truck, but then found herself in a car again and was taken to a house. There, she was undressed and was possibly photographed, okay? She states that a woman fed her cheese and crackers and played with her hair. This is what she told police. She was also able to escape and ran through the woods, conveniently finding herself near her residence and able to go home. Now, police did say that she had a minor injury to her lip and about $107 in cash were located in her sock, but they did not find any drugs or alcohol in her system. And as I mentioned previously, another interview request from the police to speak with Russell has not been granted, but police said that they are ready to talk when she is. And that is why I said that ultimately she forced their hand at this. I feel as though that they were treating this, as many of us were, as like a very serious crime or situation. And let's be honest, not every day do you see like black women or black men in the media getting this much attention, unless unfortunately it is a Black Lives Matter situation where one of our own is, wrongfully gunned down while, let's say, jogging down the street minding their own business, or at the gas station listening to music that is just too loud for a white person sitting next to them in their car. Okay, those types of situations bring forth national attention. However, something like this, we see missing black girls and black boys leaving every day, but nothing to this magnitude. And I think that it is ultimately because that there are strength in numbers, like we see with the Black Lives Matter movement. However, the strength in numbers comes from our ability to access and monopolize off of these different platforms, social media platforms. And it just also goes to show that, once we come together collectively, there's so much that we can do as a people. But I'm going to save y'all from that whole spiel. But anyway, Carlee, I feel like you forced their hand to do this. I just kind of like had hoped that you would have at least come forward. You know what I mean? To get ahead of it. However, if we want to take into account some of the rumors that we heard, like she was possibly stealing from her job, or she, like we saw on TikTok, they shared an Instagram post where she was kind of going back and forth with another young lady, about her ex-boyfriend and taking her from him, or whatever the case was. They were just kind of going back and forth about the guy, and some people suspect that Carlee did all this, staged this disappearance so that she could ultimately get sympathy from the boyfriend, I guess, in efforts of kind of like winning him back over, or as a means to get back at him. But things kind of took a turn for the worse. Like maybe she wasn't expecting it to get this far. And so given her state of mind, if that was her state of mind, I can understand why at this point in time she would not be willing to come forward, because she's already fragile. She's already in a fragile state of mind. So that explains why, she most likely is not of the mindset to come out and get ahead of this, right? She doesn't have the courage or the strength to do so. It's not easy, okay? Look at what Justice Smollet did. I mean, this man vehemently denied that he set up his own attack, paid people off to kind of stage this whole thing so that he could get publicity or be, I guess, I don't even know what his goal was. I don't know if it was to try to like be at the forefront of the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't really know, but I don't know. Anyway, let's get into the disappearance, okay? So on Thursday night around 9:34 p.m., Hoover 911 received a call from Russell stating that she saw a male toddler in a diaper on the interstate near the John Hawkins Parkway exit. Now, despite the steady stream of traffic, as I mentioned earlier, at the time of the incident, police say that they never received any additional calls regarding a toddler walking down the interstate. And at this time, they had not obtained any evidence of a toddler near the scene. Now, she was on her way home from her job at the Woodhouse Day Spa in the Summit. She stopped to get food at the Colonnade and was about 10 minutes from her house, according to her parents, Talitha and Carlos Russell. Now, officials said that after leaving the Colonnade, Carlee stopped at the Target on Highway 280 and purchased some snack food type items before arriving at the scene of her disappearance. Those items were not found anywhere in or around Carlee's car. Now, what I want to mention is that in the press conference, they did mention that conveniently, the food that she was being fed from the lady who played with her hair, she was seen purchasing those items at the Target. Okay. Let's move on. Carlee Russell then stopped to check on the child and called a family member, according to police. Now, the family told investigators that they lost contact with her, but the phone line remained open. When police arrived, they found Carlee Russell's car and belongings, but there was no sign of her or a toddler. Police have not been able to locate anyone with Carlee Russell from the time she left where she picked up food to the time she made the 911 phone call. Family gathered to search for Carlee Russell Friday morning at the Hoover Met and asked for help. "We're just going to scour the earth," said Carlee Russell's dad, Carlos Russell. "There's no stopping us." Her parents noted that there is a report from a trucker who said they saw her car with the door open and the gray vehicle had pulled in front of it. The Russells also said they believe that the child was used as bait in order to lure Russells out of her car. So let's unpack that. Just the disappearance part, okay? From what we know, what we can surmise, okay? She had everybody stupid sick and worried. Her dad especially. Imagine getting a phone call as a parent, right? You don't know what happened to your child. Somebody possibly abducted them. Sick. Like, I read somewhere that her parents hadn't slept the 3 days that she was gone. How much, like, can you imagine how much, like, angst and worry and depression and just, like, how much of a toll that takes on a parent to know that something has happened or possibly has happened to their child. They can't locate them. They cannot speak to them. They don't know what happened to them. And 9 times out of 10, they're probably thinking the absolute worst. The absolute worst, okay? Now, I am interested to see if, the police's further investigation is going to reveal a person of interest, possibly, right? Or a person who kind of was in cahoots with her, that was in that gray vehicle that a truck driver saw. Maybe it could be a friend of hers. I'm thinking that, once they used the phone records that they found or that they have to see who she was in communication with prior, align that with the make and model of... They don't even have a make and model of a car right now. I don't even know if they do, but let's say that they do, right? All they need is just that description, that it was a gray vehicle, right? They look at the people that she was speaking to, find out what type of car they're driving, if they had any access to a rental vehicle, what type of rental vehicle they had, the color, all of that. And that's just it right there. Now somebody else is possibly in cahoots and could possibly be in trouble with her as well. It could also be that somebody possibly just pulled over in front of her because they saw that the car was running like that, and they just wanted to check to see if everything was okay. Now, keep in mind, this is at night, so it could be one of the two scenarios. So at 10:44 p.m. on Saturday, police said that they received a call that Russell had returned home on foot. Okay, police revealed that surveillance footage taken from her neighborhood shows Russell walking down the sidewalk alone. Before arriving at her home Saturday night. Now, why would you be walking home? I would be running. I would be knocking on doors. I would be, especially in my neighborhood, okay? We have known these people all of our lives, so I would have knocked on the first door that I had come across and been like, hey, yeah, this is what happened, yada, yada, yada. I also saw somewhere where they stated that she was seen on neighborhood surveillance video, I guess on a Ring doorbell camera or something, like casually walking down the street, right? But as they looked at other video footage, the closer that she got to her house, she started flailing her arms like a fool and, trying to like hyperventilate and all of those things. So I don't really know. Moving on, the initial report that Russell was unresponsive was proven to be information relayed to dispatchers by a 911 caller. She was conscious and speaking at the time of her transport to UAB. Now, police responded to the scene to investigate, and Hoover fire medics responded to the scene to assess and transported Russell to UAB hospital for evaluation. Police were then able to obtain a statement from Carlee at both her home and the hospital, and the details of which have not been released. But I'm pretty sure that soon enough we are going to find the information out, just like they played her 911 call, okay? Now, when Carlee's mom was asked what happened when they first saw their daughter, she noted that they were overwhelmed, but Carlee needed medical attention, We tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So I had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. In terms of what happened to Carlee Russell during that time that she went missing, her parents said they cannot speak to anything about the case itself. They do, however, believe there is an abductor out there and police continue the search. Girl, wow. Talitha Russell was shocked at the amount of people who maliciously lied during the investigation. She told Today in an exclusive interview, she said Carlee Russell is having to deal with the trauma of people making false allegations about her. She definitely fought for her life, Talitha Russell said. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments when she had to mentally fight for her life. Carlos Russell, her father, added, she made it back. Well, I really don't know what to say to that other than it's best to sometimes just plead the fifth and just not say anything, okay? Because today the Hoover Police Department proved both Carlee and her parents to be extreme untruth tellers. Now, I will say that I was extremely saddened and heartbroken when I saw this. I saw her story come about by a girl that I follow on Facebook who does hair and wig reviews and all that, who happens to live in the same town as Carlee Russell. And so I clicked on the video and my heart just dropped because I could not imagine myself, right? That's something that I would do. If I saw a baby or a stroller or something on the side of the road, I would stop to investigate or to get that baby some help, because I just couldn't imagine, like a child being lost or anything like that, and to possibly be abducted while doing a good deed. It just completely blew my mind. So I was definitely one of the ones that was in prayer and kind of hoping for the best. And even I believe it was Sunday that they said she was found and she came home, and I saw that she had returned. I was just like, thank you, Jesus. And then I started seeing reports like Monday or so where people were saying, okay, it's just a bunch of flam, whatever. I was kind of getting upset. Like, can we not just have a moment where, like, we as a race, we do tend to always assume the worst or want to call somebody a liar and things of that nature. So I was kind of offended on behalf of her. But as I started to investigate and then started to see different things, and then definitely today, I definitely held my reservations up until I saw the press conference today, and I was just like, oh wow. But nonetheless, regardless as to what happened, I believe that we still need to be praying for her, because let's say, like I said, some of the rumors are true. It shows that she was not in a healthy state of mind, and she still is not. She's probably not going to be for a very, very long time, especially now that news has come out that she's possibly telling well, I can't even say possibly, but that she fabricated this story. I mean, she's had the FBI involved in things. Just, oh my God, like, so much has gone into her search and recovery efforts, and I don't know. So I just ask that you guys just keep her in prayer. Everybody does have their own opinion. You have the right to have your own opinion, but I would just challenge you to kind of just be a little more humane or empathetic towards her situation and her mental state, right? And I do want to challenge and encourage people who might be going through something mentally to seek help. Parents, family members, like sisters, brothers, co-workers, like whomever. If you know that somebody is struggling mentally, like, be a sound space for them. Like, oh man, I just can't even imagine. But anyway, I just wanted to come and bring you guys this information and my 2 cents so far on what has been revealed in the Carlee Russell case. As additional details do become available, I am going to update you guys on those. Please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and drop down in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. Bye.